see an annoying girl run toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbour and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I must feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Jack. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Jack, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori must have come into classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realise that I'm the only one left in class. I thought I'd catch you coming out of classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me, if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, then you come to my club. Sayori? Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Me. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would be bringing a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes! Let's go! And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you don't call me a new member. Yeah. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Jack, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognise. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear and then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Jack. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Jack. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh. Natsuki lifts the foil of the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes, decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica and I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full, and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavour. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayuri said, well, maybe. But not for, you know, you dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us, before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? No, I hate tea. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know... I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. Since when? I still don't enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayuri. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayuri seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling the dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Jack, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself half jokingly. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favourites are usually novels that build up deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with a deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp onto something I can relate at the minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayuri slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. I'm not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzingly at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Jack? Monika smiles warmly at me once more. Hold on, there's still one problem. Eh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I've bluntly come forward with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. So Yuri may have convinced me to stop bombing, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Jack... You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay. I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! Sayuri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment? Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Jack, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Jack, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sierra and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayuri, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances. I'm sure good fortune will find me. I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Clumsy. Jump? Holiday. Vacation. Doki doki? Sing. Vitality. Sunset. Smile. Promise. Family. Papa. Oh, anime. Peaceful. Happiness. Pleasure? Oh, did that even without trying. Awesome. Games. Plants. Happy. Yeah. Oh. Hi again, Jack. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Jack. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. Siri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, you guys. Jack always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable.
Siri, that's just because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Jack can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal and it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what.
Is that so?
Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be.
Alright. Well, here.
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought that you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri,
thank you. I'll definitely read this.
I enthusiastically take the book. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sierra and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Man, looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down to the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me, but I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I closed my eyes and I'm listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica.
We're probably going to seem really lame compared to all the other clubs though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, you know? We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds.
What's this? Sayori is taking this really seriously. Try to hear her deliberating like this.
That's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? Well, I guess we could... Cupcakes! Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. You're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it. Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Cupcakes it is then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself.
I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding my motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I ended up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. I open my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out my chair.
Sorry. Wait, actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't a napping club.
Does our school have a napping club?
You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know? You'll need to get used to it.
Don't say that so loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard.
It's true, though.
Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sue.
It's what I do best.
That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you?
Not every day.
That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time?
It's a secret.
Anyway.
Come on. At least give me the benefit of the doubt.
I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over your face. Sayori glances around at herself.
How is it written all over me?
You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out all around here. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this.
My hair is just really hard to get right.
I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either. And there's toothpaste stain on your collar right here.
But nobody would ever notice that.
Of course they would. Nobody's going to tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I really don't care about that.
Hey, you mean...
And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori, why do you think you don't have a boyfriend?
That's super mean.
Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I started to button up her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind.
This is so funny.
What is?
Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does this kind of things.
Don't say that. You make me feel weird about it, stupid.
It's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you?
I guess.
Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close?
I struggle to fully close the button in her chest.
Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it.
If you ever buttoned it, you wouldn't have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about?
It means my boobs got bigger again.
Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now, so yeah. Why does it feel strange to see a series blazer buttoned up like that?
But it's so stuffy. It's not worth it at all.
Siri hastily unbuttons her blazer once more.
Phew. That's so much better.
Siri puts her arms out and twirls around.
So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right?
What kind of logic is that? And why are you saying it like it's a good thing?
Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned.
Stop saying all these embarrassing things.
I didn't say anything embarrassing. Jeez.
Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier.
Only if you focus on going to bed early.
Fine. It's a deal.
I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning.
You're doing it again, Siri.
Oh, but I was joking that time.
It's impossible to tell you sometimes.
Okay, everyone.
Monica suddenly called out.
Why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Jack, I can't wait to read yours.
Yeah, same. I fail to sound enthusiastic, but Siri still torrents away to retrieve her poem.
By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before.
Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait.
Sierra and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Series is on wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a compression notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuke and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? I suppose Yuri. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Yuri first. She's my good friend after all.
Oh my goodness. This is so good, Jack. I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer.
Yuri, you must be seriously overacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either.
Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it?
Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem. It's a Jack poem. And that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it.
Siri hugs the sheet against her chest. It's so weird, Siri.
I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Jack. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Yuri. I'm not sure if Yuri sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her now.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you.
Alright. I'm gonna hold you to that then.
Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, make me rub the sleep from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wash away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
Siri, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No. Just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still try my best.
Ah, yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice. How should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially the last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you were late to school?
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time I won't forget. I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it. Those are the meat. That's so cute.
Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you.
That's a little blunt.
Oh, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't invoke my emotions.
So basically, it's not cute enough for your taste.
Do you want to get smacked?
I'll pass.
Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can creep. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style would make your message into that's vivid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really diminishing to you. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other The nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helped brings out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into that than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from you, the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, guess not. I decided to humour her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take it away from her. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading.
Sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine, don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put more my thoughts into words. Hold on.
Okay.
This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guessed that it might be after reading through it.
So it's that bad?
No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanour totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can blame on for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
That's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamingly, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light.
The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the ember glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last simmering streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I'm such a terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you so long to... took you a long time to read. Yeah, that's because I can't read. I don't do cursive language. But, no. So it just took me a minute to read the shit. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's relief.
Also, I like this poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Jack.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. And soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that way. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you. Hi, Jack. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Jack. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
I like this one. It makes me think of something Siri would like.
Is that so?
You and Siri are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sort of things in common.
Well, we may be good friends, but Siri and I are actually really different.
Well, that may be the case, but maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being, even if it shows it in different ways. It ends up being more similar than you'd think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem.
You sure you're not reading into it too much?
I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Yuri's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell she likes exploring with emotions like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too?
Yeah, that's totally unexpected.
Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know?
I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall.
It couldn't have been me. See the direction that sparkle protrudes? A nosy neighbour? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. So, what do you think?
It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting the emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
I guess that's everyone. Glance around the room. That was a lot more stressful than I anticipated. So is this everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities? Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is their literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Siri and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows frown in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving it up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked for someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Jack did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't. And Jack liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up again. Maybe you're just jealous that Jack appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Jack started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting guys.
Suddenly both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there.
Jack? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted and for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Can we explain that to her, Jack? Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Jack? Well...
How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course, it's going to be... yeah, help me, Sayuri. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her.
Sayuri! Yeah, everyone's fighting is making Sayuri uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Jack. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for us to inject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayuri wants to tell Yuri that what a stuck-up jerk she's being, she would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why. Exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always have been. Big and beautiful.
Sayuri stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression.
I'll make some tea.
Yuri rushes off, and Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So, this is why Sayuri is vice president, I whispered to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organise things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing for me. Nah, not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either.
Well,
I guess that just means Sayuri isn't amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be in her head, but sometimes it's really suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to move. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more.
Okay, everyone. It's about that time. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Jack, how about you?
Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone.
Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends too, so your poems will turn out even better.
I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kind of poems everyone likes. If anything, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with a newfound determination.
Jack, Ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go. Sayori beams it. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier.
What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often?
No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends.
Phew. You know, Jack, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too.
That's...
Every day is going to be so much fun.
Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this. I'm actually going to save here and stop for tonight with Doki Doki. So thank you very much for joining, and I will play more again.